Ciao Fabri, welcome back in our podcast. January is coming, it's getting closer, and we start talking about all the strategies behind the scenes here on Many Blazers. And we start with, and here we go.
Ordóñez will be a Chelsea player. There is an agreement signed with his Ecuadorian club, Independiente del Valle. There is an agreement with the player after Chelsea were on a mission in South America last week to close the deal. And so already here we go, and I think a very interesting signing for Chelsea. They believe they're going to sign this boy who is going to be something really special in the future.
Let's go into the details of that. So why Chelsea decided to go for him, and also if there were also other clubs involved in the race.
Yeah, there were two more clubs from England and one club also from Germany interested in Deinner Ordóñez, so there was a lot of movement around this boy. Because when you talk about Ecuadorian players in modern football, and especially coming from the academy of Independiente del Valle, you have a guarantee of quality if you think about players like Moises Caicedo, Piero Hincapié, and many others, including also William Pacho, who recently signed a new deal at Paris Saint-Germain. Well, that's very special. What they are doing in Ecuador is very special, and Deinner Ordóñez is seen as the next big thing by Chelsea. This is why, also to anticipate English and German clubs interested in Ordóñez, Chelsea have sent one of their men when it's about recruiting players, Sam Jewels, the former Brighton director, now working for Chelsea, sent to South America to close the deal with Independiente del Valle and to bring to Chelsea this huge talent for present and future. So Chelsea really believe this boy has a big potential. Of course, South American football is not European football, is not Premier League, so we will see how he will develop. It's going to take time before we see this boy in a Chelsea shirt, but I think a very interesting signing who is showing once again the Chelsea strategy.
Mentioning again Chelsea and their strategies for the future, despite the criticism of the last years, they're continuing to build the future and sign new players. So what's next for Chelsea in terms of the new players and new talents?
They will go in this direction. They will keep going in this direction. They're very happy about what they're doing in terms of long-term project, bringing in young talents. I think William Estevao has been a masterclass by Chelsea, to be honest. Now this boy is doing fantastic for the Seleção for Brazil and also for Chelsea, of course. And when they signed Estevao for that amount of money, of course, a very complicated structure with many add-ons, many people were maybe not so convinced to see this big amount of money invested on this boy. Now he's one of the best talents, one of the best youngsters in the world. So Chelsea will keep going in that direction. For example, I can confirm some reports from South America on Felipe Moraes, 17 years old from Cruzeiro, midfielder, one of the players Chelsea are tracking at the moment. I'm not aware about an official bid, about an official negotiation, but Chelsea are following the boy, are following several players around the world because Chelsea just want to keep going with tracking and trying to bring in the best talents in the world.
Can we say Endrick will be the next Here We Go for you, and also what's missing for the deal to make it happen?
I think yes. I think can be the next Here We Go, because there is already a quite advanced conversation between Olympique Lyon and Real Madrid, an agreement done between Endrick and Olympique Lyon. So I can be very clear on this. When I broke this story in October, I think it was already clear, but now I can be 100% sure. Endrick wants to go to Olympique Lyon. So no chance for other clubs, no chance for English clubs, rumors on Man United, Aston Villa, rumors on Italian clubs, Roma. Endrick wants to go to Olympique Lyon because he can play immediately, because the coach speaks Portuguese, Paulo Fonseca, so same language, because he can have the opportunity from the 1st of January to be there and play football immediately as a starter, because of Karim Benzema, one of the idols of Endrick, so he wants to go there. Now Endrick knows that Olympique Lyon and Real Madrid are negotiating details of this deal, including, from what I'm told, the salary share, because Olympique Lyon will cover a part of the salary for Endrick until the end of the season. So I think it's about the final details, but I fully expect Endrick to become a Here We Go for Olympique Lyon soon.
Talking about details, can potentially Olympique Lyon include a buy option deal or a buy deal in the deal with Real Madrid?
No, on this I can guarantee there is a 0% chance to see a buy option clause or a buy obligation clause included in this deal. The only potential clause is for Real Madrid to receive money in case Endrick doesn't play a number of games, so a penalty clause. That's very typical when there is a top talent. This is not a normal loan for a player who is not used by his club. This is a fantastic player who is just not having an opportunity and returning from a loan. So in this kind of cases there is always a penalty clause to incentivize incentivate the other clubs to let the player be on the pitch and have opportunities. So there could be this kind of clause, but absolutely no chance to have a buy option, a buy obligation, because Endrick wants his future to be at Real Madrid, and because Real Madrid are convinced that Endrick, as soon as he will play, he will develop, can be a Real Madrid player for sure.
Semenyo and Bournemouth definitely would be a big name for 2026. Do you expect also to be a name for January or something for the summer?
I think there is a good chance to see Antoine Semenyo moving in the January transfer window. It's not guaranteed, so I would keep it open. Let's see what's going to happen in January. Maybe a 70%, maybe 60% for the January move, and we keep a 30-40 for the summer transfer window. But there is a possibility. There is a possibility for January because Antoine Semenyo has a release clause valid in the January transfer window. Is £60 million plus 5 in add-ons. So this is the clause for the January transfer window. Then let's see how this is going to be in terms of contacts, in terms of clubs interested. It's a big amount of money for the January transfer window, but also a fantastic player who can score goals, who can provide assists. So for sure Antoine Semenyo can be one of the big names for the January window. We have to see about all the clubs interested, and it's several clubs in the Premier League who is going to be ready to pay that money. But I think this could be an interesting story to follow in terms of details in the next weeks.
Talking about another big talent of European soccer, Kenan Yildiz, what do you think is the future for him, and what's the strategy behind his future?
I don't think at all. I think there is a 0% chance to see Kenan Yildiz leaving Juventus in the January transfer window. Kenan Yildiz is fully focused on Juventus. He's the number 10. He's the star of the squad. So no chance for him to leave. It's a completely different situation compared to Semenyo. And also, when we talk about Kenan Yildiz, okay, Juventus and Kenan Yildiz have started discussing about a new contract a long time ago. It's 3, 4, 5 months ago they started discussing, and there is still no agreement on the financial part. So let's see how this conversation will continue. But at the same time, we have to remind that Juventus are not in a urgent situation with Yildiz. They want to give him a better salary. They want to protect the player from clubs arriving. But at the same time, the contract is still very long. It's a 2029 contract at Juventus. So it's not a urgent situation. Juventus remain very powerful in this story, and Juventus want Kenan Yildiz to stay. So in January, no chances. In the summer, let's see, because some Premier League club already started calling. So I can tell you that despite the rumors we had on La Liga top clubs, my understanding is that from Premier League clubs have started calling. So that could be the destination, but this depends on Juventus. Juventus have the ball in their court. They have the opportunity to negotiate a new contract. They are discussing, and so let's see if they can reach an agreement with Kenan Yildiz.
You already mentioned Karim Benzema earlier when we were talking about Endrick's future. Where do you think will be the future of Karim Benzema? Because in the past days, there were a lot of rumors about his future in Saudi Arabia and possibly back in Europe as well.
Yeah, I think Karim has been very honest as always. He gave a beautiful interview to Diario AS in Spain, and he was very, very open about that. He said, maybe I could leave the club on a free transfer in the summer transfer window. His contract is expiring with Al Ittihad in 2026, and so Karim Benzema is considering his options ahead of the summer transfer window. I don't expect a movement in January, but in the summer might be different. Because Al Ittihad are pushing to keep him at the club, but from what I'm hearing, there is a possibility for him to go back to Europe. He wants to consider all his options, and as we said, Olympique Lyon, the first love of Karim Benzema before becoming a superstar at Real Madrid. Well, Olympique Lyon always had this dream of bringing back Karim Benzema. The president, John Textor, already 1 year ago wanted to try and then was not possible. But let's see what's going to arrive from Europe. At the moment, I'm not aware of any contact for a Real Madrid return. Karim Benzema was very open about that, saying, I can't say no to Florentino Perez. Okay, that's very romantic. There is a fantastic relationship between Real Madrid and Benzema, but zero contacts over a return. So I think eventually could be a different club in Europe.
Last question for today. Let's now talk about another Real Madrid legend, another French legend, Zinedine Zidane. He said he will be back soon on the bench, on the sidelines. Is 2026 the year where we're going to see finally him back somewhere?
Yes. In 2026 we will see Zinedine Zidane finally back. He deserves to be back, I think, after he did a fantastic job at Real Madrid. And then was Zidane himself who didn't want to return when he had the opportunities, because English clubs, for example, approached Zidane several times to have the opportunity to go, Saudi clubs, but Zidane always wanted to wait for the right opportunity. Now Zidane in an interview a few weeks ago said, I will be back soon. And I think this destination will be after the World Cup. Now Zidane is not commenting in public because he wants to respect the French national team. He wants to respect Didier Deschamps. It's an important year for France. They arrived to the World Cup as one of the favorites, and so for sure France have a fantastic opportunity to win the World Cup, and Zidane doesn't want to create any rumors or any issue around Didier Deschamps, but Deschamps will leave the job at the end of the World Cup, and Zinedine Zidane has a very, very, very good chance to become the new head coach of the French national team. So I think that's going to be the destination.
Thank you, Fabri, for that. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Ciao, guys.